And we're live. I'm back with Tobin Foulke. What's up, man?
Hey.
We, full disclosure, we attempted to do another episode. What was that? A month or two ago?
It was right before Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah, and drove all the way down to your mom's ranch in Oregon and sat down and started recording while we simultaneously started drinking copious amounts of alcohol.
We had a great time.
Yeah, we went off the rails. The wheels fell off, and that episode was archived in a special place that will never be accessible for anybody else.
I don't even know if I want to watch it.
No, it was kind of cringeworthy. Yeah. We went back to Ranger Privates again. That's funny, man. We've you and I have now had to scrap 2 episodes for reverting back to our 19-year-old private self and just being absolutely ridiculous. Yep. And the last time we did that, I mentioned it, and I got people hitting me up like, dude, I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
No,
which,
sorry,
if you
got to come to the party if you want to hear that.
If you're from Regiment, you'd get it. Everybody else would just be horrified. Yep. And unsubscribe, unfollow, all those things would be the result. So, yep. Yeah, but we hit 100,000 downloads 2 days ago.
Nice. For
the show. So, and obviously, I don't know what a metric is for what's good or what's not in this industry. But from what I've been told, 400,000 in 4 months is pretty good. So
yeah, that's awesome, man.
We're fucking stoked, dude. So what's up?
Yeah, so the reason I think we're sitting here right now is Greg and I have both been becoming more and more frustrated with sort of the hypocrisy in Washington State right now surrounding closures, or I should say forced closures of small businesses and schools.
Yeah, and it's 9 months into this stuff.
We're 9 months in. Just jumping right into one of the things that frustrates me most is our governor, Jay Inslee. He's been in office. He's now entering his 3rd term, so he's not an inexperienced governor. And we're 9 months into this, and the man has no plan. His plan for 9 months has been to do nothing, and he's gotten away with it thus far because he spends his press conferences blaming Donald Trump, and people buy off on that because people are angry with Donald Trump too. But now Donald Trump's moving out, and Jay Inslee still has no plan. And I guess now the vaccine, he's held out long enough that there's a vaccine coming. So I would imagine, I hope, he'll begin to start reopening things. But it's really frustrating to me that I can sit here and in 30 seconds come up with a few ideas like, hey, for the money we've cost our economy and our small business owners, we could be offering free grocery delivery to anyone over the age of 55. Mm-hmm. And we could be offering in-home health care to anyone over the age of 55. And people with underlying conditions or who are, fearful for their own health for some reason or another could collect unemployment. I think right now in Washington State, you are allowed to collect unemployment if you don't feel comfortable going to work.
And man, I've been saying that obviously right in the beginning, everyone was kind of concerned of what this was going to look like. But as soon as we realized that this was very dangerous to an extremely specific demographic of people, I was saying that 6 months ago. Let's focus our efforts on those people with comorbidities or conditions that make them at risk.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not a fucking doctor or a scientist, but it seems pretty obvious that, okay, if this is the demographic that needs help, let's help those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, the National Institute for Health estimates obesity kills 300,000 Americans every year.
Bro, I talked about that. I talked about that on my last episode. I went off because it's like, why aren't we calling this what it is?
Yeah.
This is an obesity and unhealthy lifestyle epidemic.
It's culling people who have been living unhealthily.
Yeah.
So if you're still alive, it's not too late. And we've been hearing unending talk of what you should do. Greg, you should wear a mask. You should stay home. You should do this. I have yet to hear one person say, I'm going to take this opportunity to eat more vegetables, and I'm going to start going for a daily walk. I'm going to turn that daily walk into a daily jog.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start living more healthy because that's how I protect myself. It's unending talk about what other people should do for me, but nobody's talking about what they could do for themselves.
You know, something that I've been kind of joking with people at my gym, but it's also, I feel that this is true. Like if you can do one dead hang pull-up, your body is too strong to be killed by the coronavirus.
You're probably right.
Right? One dead hang pull-up.
Yeah, unless you have some other medical.
Yeah, of course. And there's always going to be outliers, and there's always going to be, and that's just part of the human experience. Some people, and it fucking might be me. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it disparagingly, but you can't change the whole trajectory of society over a small possibility that a certain group of people might get sick.
Yeah, and yet we are destroying people's lives. People who are reliant on their own business to provide income for themselves, and they had made themselves a nice little niche in society and were productive members of society, and they've just been crushed because Jay Inslee sat down on TV and said, "You're done."
And it's so frustrating and stupid when you hear them, meaning the government, deciding what's essential. Like, what does that word even mean?
Yeah,
like, if what I get up and do with my day feeds my children, okay, that's essential.
That is essential.
That doesn't seem like that's really up for debate.
Yeah,
you know?
I wrote down a little quote here that's been going around online. It says, "Every business is essential to the people who rely on it."
Yeah. which a 6-year-old should be able to come up with that quote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the things that was really frustrating for me about Inslee was, like you'd already touched on it, that it seemed like every press conference was just a jab at Trump, jab at Trump, jab at Trump.
He's escaped by jabbing at Trump, and he's managed to have no plan. And nobody has noticed that he has no plan because the majority of people here in Western Washington hate Trump. So they just kind of cling to that. They just eat that shit up.
But
fuck that guy.
The thing that frustrates me about it is not liking how Trump is handling things on a federal level doesn't exclude you from taking action on a state level.
Absolutely.
And so he almost acts like those two things are mutually exclusive. Like if Trump is doing this, then I can't do that.
Yeah, no, that has been his excuse the entire time, is that Trump is preventing him from doing anything. He can't protect anybody from the coronavirus because of Donald Trump. And that's untrue. That's just political blustering.
Of course it is.
For him to avoid the fact that he has no ideas. He has no plan.
It's so funny hearing all these governors talk out of both sides of their mouth, because on one hand, they're like, we need aid from Trump. Trump's not helping us with PPE. Trump's not giving us the grants that we need. Trump this, Trump that. But then when Trump does take any type of action, like when he sent federal agents into Portland, like, he doesn't have the authority to intervene with our state's business. And he's sending militarized police and like, you can't have it both ways. Do you want the federal government to assist you through this or not?
And think about what we learned in the military as far as leadership, where you handle it at the small, problems are best handled at the smallest level possible. So if you are in a state leadership position, you should not be concerned with what happens outside the border of your state. You should be looking at your own state's resources and your own state's actions.
Mm-hmm.
And that has not been the only action he has taken thus far is to close people's businesses, close the schools, and wait.
Yeah.
That's his whole plan, is just wait and see.
And that just reminded me that I should probably mention this, is that I guess I can't assume that everybody listening has heard every single episode that we've done.
Right.
But Toby was in the Ranger Regiment with me our whole enlistment was almost together. And then he got out and we both went into military contracting and did that for another 5+ years. And so, yeah, our experience kind of mirrors each other. We shared a lot of the same deployments and a lot of the same training and all that stuff. So, of course, inevitably, we're going to kind of share that same mindset when we see what's going on in our society, I just feel like this has been a year of casting shit back and forth, and that's coming to an end.
Yeah. So
like come fucking January 20th, where's all this going to go?
It's going to get weird.
It has to, dude, it has to get weird. And again, another thing that I've been saying forever is regardless of what side of the fence you're on this stuff, the trajectory we're on is not sustainable. No. It's just simply not sustainable.
No, again, suicide is up. Mental health issues are up. Drug addicts and alcoholics are relapsing. And all these guys, you can't just ignore that. That's public health also.
Of course it is.
We have homeless people building shanty towns, leaving used needles. They're now shitting in the creeks in the parks in Seattle. Is that a public health issue?
Man,
I would call an open sewer a public health issue. I call dirty needles in the streets a public health issue.
Yeah.
A year ago, when King Inslee allowed children to play baseball, I was a little league coach. And before games, I would walk the infield just looking for dirty needles because in Everett, there's dirty needles in all the parks.
And people think like, I mean, I don't know if they're not from a city or area like Seattle, if they think we're like dramatic or being dramatic and how we're painting that picture. Dude, when I was a police officer, that was the Port of Seattle. They have a lot of parks throughout Seattle. That's like part of their, if they have terminals and airports, then they have to have a certain amount of area that's like protected.
It's like their building codes.
Yeah. So they have a bunch of parks throughout the city, and that's part of our jurisdiction. So when you're on patrol, you're going through all those parks and just checking in and making sure like nefarious shit's not going on, because it always is.
Yeah.
And, dude, needles everywhere, constantly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's to the point where I wouldn't let one of my children play at a park in Seattle for an afternoon if you paid me $20,000.
No, and they're now getting the latest article I saw, and anybody who's doubting this can look up Cairo 7, Como 4, King 5. Those are the local Seattle news stations, and they've done multiple articles that are on their websites. So now they're becoming territorial to where you can't take your kids to the park or you'll be confronted with like threatened violence.
Yeah. No, and a lot of the 100% of the homeless epidemic that's plaguing Seattle is drug related.
Yes.
That's the first thing we need to do. This is not a homeless problem. It's a drug crisis.
Yeah.
And I feel like the far left.
To tie all this in together, it's a public health crisis.
Yes, it is 100%. But I feel like, I don't know, man, is all this legislation that's being brought forward where they don't want homeless people to be able to be charged with misdemeanor crimes anymore, right? Like even assault. They said they don't. They're pushing legislation where if you're an addict or if you're homeless or if you're showing signs of mental health problems, that the laws of Washington state don't apply to you. Yeah. Where is this coming from?
I don't know. And again, our leadership it's a no plan. And I can sit here in 30 seconds and spitball some ideas, set up a FEMA style camp, and people who are living in squalor, because it's now a public health issue, they need to have compulsory confinement it doesn't need to be called jail. They don't need to get a criminal record. Put them in a camp where they have compulsory mental health and substance abuse treatment.
Yes.
And it is not humane to let them live in their own filth in a tent encampment. To say that it's inhumane to put them in a camp is ridiculous, because the way they're living right now is
way worse.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to bring up. I think in its core, a lot of people that have like the liberal ideologies think that they're trying to be compassionate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you don't understand. They're addicted to heroin. So we have to bend the rules for them, and we have to give them grace, and we have to let them do this, and we have to let them do that, to the point now where they're literally saying we even have to let them commit crimes. It's like insane. You have to let them break the windows out of your car and take all your change because they're an addict.
Right. And you and I are extreme right wingers for having some libertarian views.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, if he can smash a car window out and take the change, then I should be able to smash a car window out and take the change. You know what I mean? Like, we can't build a society where the laws pertain to us differently based on our life choices. Yeah. You know, it's asinine. And I can't understand. I mean, initially I feel like all of these asinine like regulations and city codes and stuff that we're not enforcing because of them being homeless was because they were trying to take a compassionate approach to these people.
That is their excuse.
But is it really that? I mean,
no, walk down into one of those camps and tell me it's compassionate.
That's what I'm saying. It's not. I've seen it up close and personal.
Yeah, it's 36 degrees and raining. Walk down into those camps right now and tell me you're being compassionate by letting people live that way.
And any patrol officer that works in a area that's fucking plagued by drug use and addiction, these people piss their pants. They shit their pants. They, a lot of them can't even carry a conversation on like a 3-year-old level. Yeah. You know, They don't even know where they're at. Their eyes are all glassed over. Like there is nothing compassionate about the way that we are treating these people. And then the other side of it, take those people out of the equation. Take the people that are responsible, do pay their taxes, wake up and open their business. And now this overwhelming desire to just pander to the homeless population is ruining their livelihoods too.
Yeah, they have to step over human feces to get in the front door of their business.
And if you want to shoo them away, like the police won't help you out because it's been said that public sidewalks are now like
free reign.
Yeah, free. Yeah, you can live there. You can put your tent up there now.
Shit, man, I've been wanting to get like some hogs and cattle and stuff. Maybe I should just keep them downtown.
Dude, but like I was in Seattle last week and I posted a picture on my Instagram and dude, I mean, I worked down there for 3 years, day in and day out. So I'm very familiar with that scene, but I'm not exaggerating when I say every time I go into that city, it's exponentially worse. And I drove by Chase Bank and there was a huge encampment in their parking lot and they were grilling and they had a barbecue and I think there was 6 tents and garbage everywhere. And that's the other thing that people don't realize is it's not like these people just don't have a place to live, so they're in a tent. No. That's not what's going on here. Because if I was homeless and I had to put up my tent and that's where I was sleeping, I could still be clean. I could still be organized. I could still be respectful. All that shit is out the window with these people.
Yeah.
All of it, dude.
Yep.
And I remember thinking, dude, if that was my bank, I would not feel comfortable parking my car out there amongst all of that and walking in to make a deposit. Yeah. And that's me, let alone my wife or if Jenny and one of my daughters was there and like was dropping off some rent money or something, no fucking way, dude.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. And it's even like, it's getting to the point where it's not just tents anymore. It's semi-permanent structures made out of plywood and corrugated metal. I think one of the articles on Cairo 7 was that in one of the parks, they've set up a machine shop. So they're in there grinding and fabricating ostensibly to make more semi-permanent structures.
Yeah, so
dude. Now they're building shanty towns and they're using the creeks through the parks as sewers. So this, again, bring it all back. It's a public health issue. So if we're going to close businesses and schools because of public health, maybe we should look at our other massive public health issue and stop ignoring it and pretending that it doesn't exist.
I know, man. And so at what point, what's the tipping point when people are just like, I've had enough? And I mean, I'm not advocating this, but I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility where a frustrated business owner is like, you know what? I can't fucking afford to feed my kids anymore because my business is surrounded by feces and nobody's fucking coming in here anymore and going out into one of those fucking towns and lighting it on fire. I'm
surprised more people have not been leaving the Seattle city limits. I would think that at this point it would just be like a mass exodus instead of a slow trickle.
Dude, what you said about building structures out of plywood, it made me think like my gym is on a 3-acre piece of property, right?
Yeah.
And I inquired with Snohomish County about putting an espresso stand on it at one point. Have I told you this story before?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, I mean, this was a long time ago too. And so I'm sure codes are even worse now, but they said, we're not going to grant you a new permit for a separate structure. But if you build off of an existing structure, then we're willing to grant a permit. And this is on my own fucking property. Yeah. Build a structure. And I said, what do you mean build it off of one of my existing structures? Yeah. And they said, if it's connected to an existing structure, it technically is not a new structure and we'll allow you to do it. And I said, okay, when you say connected, could I literally run one 2x4 through the air for 65 feet and then nail it to the top of the other one? And now those two structures are physically connected. They said, yes. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. Like, that's where we're at with the government. Yeah. Like, my own property, I saved up the money for the down payment on that property when you and I were in Afghanistan together. Yeah. You know? I mean, that's the only way a young man's going to save up enough money for a down payment is a 7-month deployment. Yeah. They stuck us out in the mountains forever, and I was able to put a down payment on a piece of property. But, dude, that was fucking earned through fucking grit and hard work and deployments. And now they're saying you can't put a coffee stand on it.
Yeah, basically an outhouse with an espresso machine.
Yeah, dude. But you can, if you're addicted to heroin, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And you wonder why people are frustrated.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And so the other reason that I got in touch with you and wanted to sit down today is I think it's time to, I think there's a lot of small business owners out there who are really fed up and they don't know what to do because they're losing everything. And it's time to start encouraging people to just open up.
100%,
man. 2020, sadly, I mean, not sadly, but 2020 has been good to me. I've got cash and I'd like to come spend it at your small business. So I know the guy we both have been following in New Jersey, he's creating a list of small businesses that are sort of resisting and just opening up.
Is that Ian Smith, the gym owner? Yes. Yeah, that dude's fucking awesome.
And I would encourage people to start following him and pay attention to what small businesses in your community are open. And if you're not afraid for your, again, if you're afraid for your health, stay home. It's a free country.
Yeah, exactly right.
I'm very happy for you to stay home and stay safe.
But, and also supports you. Like you said, like the people that feel they need support. I mean, think about the fucking amount of money and resources that would be available if we targeted the people that felt they needed it and let everybody else just do their thing.
Yep.
You know? Yep. And I went on a rant about this last week too, but like my fucking children, dude, Reagan,
having the schools closed.
My middle child is suffering.
Yes.
Dramatically from what's going on.
Absolutely. I'm sure all kids are. My younger one, we're lucky he goes to a private pre-kindergarten, but my older one, the school's closed, and it makes a difference, man. He doesn't have that connection.
And I always said, like, apart from what you actually learn in school, the socialization is equally, if not more important.
I think more.
You know,
now that I've seen the garbage schoolwork that comes home from the public school system here in Washington, I can say without a doubt, socialization is the only good thing that's happening in public schools.
But it's like, dude, I mean, how long do we just sit on our hands and say, yeah, we see it's fucking our kids up, but go ahead. And I'm losing my business, but go ahead. Like, how long do you just keep saying, just accepting what the government's pushing down your throat because they think it's good for you?
Yeah. I'm not sure what people's hesitation is, if it's just a little bit of fear that they don't know how it's going to play out. But the other thing I think people need to remember is the government, its power is implied.
Exactly right.
If you decide that the government no longer has power over you, then they can send you a fine in the mail and you can light it on fire.
Yeah.
And they can send the health department to your business, and you don't need a business license to sell things.
No, like Ian Smith, the guy that you just referenced, they revoked his business license, and then he made that video yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. He had a bunch of pieces of paper with different phrases on it, and he went through it. And he's like, yeah, I've been fined, I've been arrested, and we've had 84,000 customers since this started.
Right.
And then at the very end, he drops it and goes, fuck you, Murphy.
Perfect, man.
But the grossest part of all of this is, while these small businesses are suffering, these guys are getting their paychecks.
Yes. Yeah,
so
Jay Inslee has not missed a paycheck.
Not only not missed a paycheck, he got a raise during this.
He's sitting comfy out in his fancy house on Bainbridge Island.
Yeah, dude.
It's disgusting.
And it doesn't, you don't have to have some like high level understanding of leadership to just look at the situation and say,
Again,
you know what?
How does leadership work in the Ranger Battalion? Does a team leader eat before his privates have eaten?
Yeah, exactly,
the
dude.
lowest ranking member of the squad eats first.
You take care of your people.
Yep.
And then
you take care
and
of
then
yourself.
you take care of yourself.
If there's time and resources left for yourself.
But what that does is it creates a culture where the people underneath you trust you. You're showing them, hey, like literally, you don't eat until your men have eaten.
Exactly.
You don't do that. And why is that? Is there not enough food to go around? Are you going to starve? Probably not. It's more symbolic that I'm not good. I'm not going to make sure I'm good until I know you're good.
And not only that, but I won't ask you to do something I can't do.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if you remember this or not. We were in Kandahar, Afghanistan, and I think it was 2002, and Outback Steakhouse came. Yes. Do you remember that? Yeah. They had like weird, different people come over and like go to the major bases for morale and different shows. And then Outback brought a bunch of blooming onions. I don't know if they brought them or if they just shipped them. They probably just shipped them.
Shipped them frozen, I'm sure. And just deep. I mean, it's a deep fried thing.
And, I mean, fuck, dude, a blooming onion in Afghanistan. It was like the greatest thing ever. But I remember, and this wasn't just the Ranger Regiment, this was Kandahar Airfield, so all the other support units. Yeah. And everybody got in line, and there was some like lieutenants and captains that like were in the front. Yeah. And you and I were horrified, dude. I remember the Rangers were horrified because they're like, wait, what the fuck's a captain eating when there's privates back there? Yeah. Especially something like that. Yep. Because it is, there's only so much to go around. Yeah. And once that's gone, you know?
Yeah. It's real. It's disgusting. Jay Inslee's fine. He's living in his $1 million mansion.
Get a little closer to that mic. You're starting to cut out a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah, dude. And leadership is not that difficult of a concept. No. Leadership is something you have to read one book, read Extreme Ownership, read Jocko's book, and just the basis of leadership is you as an individual say, okay, these are the things that I have the potential to influence. And since I have the potential to influence those things, the outcome falls on me.
Yeah. And I have responsibility to these people, and your sphere may be small, or you may be the governor of an entire state, and it may be very large.
Yeah.
But the governor of the state of Washington has a responsibility to every person in the state, not just the ones who voted for him.
Well, and that makes me think of an interesting point. A couple of weeks ago, I did a podcast down at Fort Lewis with a brigade commander. He was a full bird colonel, Colonel John Chung. And one thing that I asked him, I was like, do you think leadership, like his career coming up, he was a young ranger and a PL and all that stuff. Do you think leadership is honed more at the lower level? Like, is it harder to be a PL, or is leadership honed at a higher level once you take a battalion or a brigade? And it kind of felt like real leadership is honed at the smaller level, because that's when you learn how to interact on a personal level, and you learn how to take care of people, not organizations, not policies, not branches of government, but you learn to take care of people. So you and I came up as privates, and then you're learning what leadership looks like because you have a guy who's an E5 telling you what to do, taking care of you, teaching you how to tie your equipment down and do all the basics of rangering, but it's very intimate. I mean, True. We both remember Sergeant Lynch coming into the squad room when we were brand new privates. Get all your gear out, dump it on the ground. Yep. What the fuck is this? Fuck, what the fuck is that? Like, and the dude is like a cartoon character, you know?
He was.
But
he was an amazing leader.
Good leader, because he cared and he took care of us.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You can be tough on people if you care about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Take care of them. So,
and if the people know you that you're like, yeah, I'm being hard on you, but he has my best interests in mind, then it's all good, you know? And so we learned what leadership looked like from the subordinate aspect. Then a year or two later, whenever we got our Ranger tabs, now we're tab spec 4s. And so now we get to kind of mirror a team leader. We're not a team leader yet, but we kind of have a little bit of authority, and we can tell privates, hey, do this, do that. I need help. Will you run down here and grab me this? And you're slowly molded into a leader.
Correct.
And you learn what it was like at the bottom, the mid-level, and then you become an NCO, and they give you 5 guys or 4 guys, whatever it is. And now you have your own fire team. And fuck, dude, we were 21 years old. Yeah. Here's your fire team. Let's go to Afghanistan.
Yeah, you're pulling missions in Afghanistan with the lives of 3 other people that you're responsible for.
And like people, I mean, and I've heard from even like our buddies that went to CAG after they left the regiment. When the war was young, when we were in Afghanistan in 02 and 03, we could literally say, hey, my fire team and a gun team, let's go on a patrol. And at the time, Lieutenant Satterlin, who's also full bird colonel now.
Good. Another outstanding
leader. He would be like, yeah, I want the guys to stay busy. Take your team and go set an OP in or go patrol this area. Dude, 21 years old doing that shit.
Yeah. That's
nice. And we got lucky. I mean, really, like timing, we were in the right unit at the right time at the right place. I feel like
we put ourselves
there too. Yeah, for sure. But I just don't see, and I've seen this in law enforcement, both federally and locally. It's like when you come from a place where you understand relationships and you understand leadership, and then you see this there's just a void of it in so many other aspects of our society. And all the way up to the top, literally to the fucking president of the United States and the governors. It's like, dude.
Because they're political elite. They come from a rich family. They go to a fancy school and get connected. Again, like probably the most important thing those guys get out of going to some private university is connections, not education.
Yeah.
And they end up running society because of their connections, not because of their qualifications or their past record.
Yep. And at no point are they getting that becoming grounded in reality, you know?
Yeah. No, they're not. Jay Inslee is not grounded in reality. Has he ever had a real job?
That's what I'm saying.
Run a business?
It's almost impossible.
He probably does think we just print money and have more of it. I'm not joking.
No, I know. I laugh.
The man probably actually thinks that if the Fed just prints more dollars, then we'll have more money.
It's just so bizarre that all of the people throughout society, they look at these political elites as leaders, and they're literally the farthest thing from it.
Yes.
You know? And here's why. I feel like, and I mean, we touched on this before we hit record. I feel like the most competent men in society, men and women, don't want to dedicate their life to that cesspool.
No. People who understand leadership realize that it's a burden. It's not a privilege.
That's right, dude.
And so you kind of learn to go, maybe I don't want to be in charge of that because I understand the burden that comes with it and the sleepless nights and the gray hairs. So I think people who crave that those leadership positions and just want it so bad, I think they think of it as a privilege that they're going to use to sort of increase their own standing.
That's exactly right. It is, you can look at leadership from one of 2 ways, selfish or selfless.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yep.
And if you want to work your way into a city council or mayor position because you like the notoriety, I'm the mayor of Seattle, you know what I mean? Like, no.
That means you're responsible for every single person in Seattle.
Yeah.
Mayor Jenny Durkin has a responsibility to the people living in shanty towns and shitting in streams. She's failing.
Yeah. And bro, and again, another thing that I touched on last week is that, did you see what Governor Inslee publicly wrote about Jenny Durkin?
No.
About how you were an incredible leader through the COVID-19 pandemic. You led with dignity and honor through tumultuous times.
Violent crime has increased.
Yeah, and
drug addiction has increased.
And he goes, and you made Seattle, verbatim, a world-class place to live. And I'm just, dude, if you want any type of if you want anybody that's not already just fucking blindly following you to get on board with what you're saying, bro, Jay Inslee could get on fucking the television tonight and be like, listen, guys, I just did a pretty comprehensive assessment of the state of Washington. I walked the streets of Seattle. I talked to people, and I realized we kind of dropped the ball here.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of cleaning up to do. And it's going to take a lot of work on my end, but more importantly, it's going to take a lot of work on your guys' end because we have to fucking attack this problem together. And he could do that with dignity and kindness.
Yeah.
And like, it wouldn't be a left versus right thing.
Yeah.
It'd be exactly like you said. Let's figure out ways to fucking get these people into treatment. Let's get them fucking some medical assistance. Let's find places where they can fucking use the bathroom that's not going to be poisoning the streets and poisoning the streams.
Yeah.
And that's what's so bizarre. Like everything
has to be a right v left.
Yeah, no, I know. It's crazy. Nuts. And like, dude, there's so many building codes and building restrictions that are in direct relation to streams and creeks and water runoff.
Watersheds.
Like I had a buddy who, he took his own backhoe on his own property and he did some grading and he did some, he planted a lawn and he did this stuff, but it was too close to a stream. And he got a $10,000 fine because they said that has the potential to make the water murky and affect the salmon run, right? Yeah. So you can't have it both ways. Do you want to protect the streams and the waterways or do you not want to?
Yeah.
You know?
It's the hypocrisy of Washington government right now is just maddening.
Yeah, man. And it's weird too, because I mean, I've lived here, well, off and on, but I grew up in Washington, bouncing back between Alaska and Washington. And then I was in the military and then I was in LA for a while, but this is always home. I always come back here. Right.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about this the other day. Like when Barack Obama went into the presidential race against John McCain, if you met someone like, did you vote for McCain in that?
I know I didn't vote for Obama, but I don't think I voted for McCain. I know I voted for Gary Johnson in 2016.
I did that too. Yep, I did that too because I just wasn't impressed with either party.
Yeah, no.
And everyone, Greg, you're throwing your vote away. I said, yeah, maybe, but at the same time,
you vote for the guy you believe in.
Yes,
even if he's a dark horse.
And so that's that. I did the same thing. But regardless, if you wanted Obama, McCain,
I might have no voted the president that year.
Yeah,
I thought they were both kind of. Yeah.
But there wasn't like, you wouldn't run into somebody and be like, "Oh, you voted for McCain? Fuck you."
Yeah.
Obama's my guy. You voted for McCain? Fuck you. Yeah. There was none of that, dude. Yeah. And that wasn't that long ago.
No.
You know? No. And I don't remember ever in my life.
People are, I mean, I'm sure, like I have a lot of mountain biking friends and acquaintances that I see at events and races and whatnot, who I'm pretty sure that when this is all done, will not want to talk to me.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
Because I think small business owners should be allowed to make money.
And
I'm a Nazi. And
I feel, and bro, I check myself regularly because I feel like I went onto Ensley's page the other day and was reading all the comments, and it was like, thank you, Governor, for keeping us safe. Thank you for making sure that my children will have a future, and like all of this stuff. And then I realized,
what is the future you're setting them up for?
Yeah. But I realized
a
like
huge wage gap where all that exists is Amazon, Home Depot, and the people who work for minimum wage at Amazon and Home Depot.
That's right. I mean, the rich have gotten richer during COVID.
Yeah. Oh, Amazon's killing it, which is funny. Think a year and a half ago, the Seattle City Council was trying to close down Amazon. Amazon rules the fucking world now because everybody else has been forced to close.
Yeah, dude. Man, I don't fucking know what the right answer is on all this stuff, but one of the craziest.
You have to let people figure it out for themselves.
Yeah, and you don't have to hate the other side,
exactly.
Man. I feel like, but circling back around to what I was saying about checking myself, I'll kind of detach and be like, okay, you're of the mindset like people's livelihoods are more important, people's children's mental health and education is more important. And that's why I'm like vehemently opposed to all these lockdowns. And I tried to look at it from the other side though. And I'm like, okay, so why these people feel just as strongly about it as I do. Right.
Yeah.
And they think they're just as correct as I do.
Yes.
And so instead of hating them, like what would a conversation look like with them? But what I've realized is the two sides have grown so far apart that there's no middle ground. Like we can't have a conversation because it's just the ideology is fucking going 180 degrees in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and not to point fingers, but the left has become more radicalized.
100%.
And so they are the ones who they're not accepting middle ground. And so, like I just said, you can have grocery. My wife has groceries sent to our house all the time. Amazon and Fred Meyer deliver. Or you can have Fred Meyer put it in the back of your car as you pull up to the curb. You are not forced to go into public spaces right now. You can survive without that. And the idea that you need to control everybody else so that you can feel secure. And honestly, I'm not even sure if it's so much about health anymore, so much as it is control.
Yeah.
I think the left really
100% is.
The extreme left, the progressive left really wants control. And I think we're entering, like I said, the beginning of this, it's going to get weird next year, because as Biden comes into power and starts making executive orders, I think the extreme progressive left is going to become emboldened to push the agenda harder and harder. And it won't be through democratic means. It will be executive order and just try to hammer it.
And Biden traditionally hasn't been like out on the fringes of the radical left. He's, I don't
dislike Joe Biden, but I question whether Joe Biden is in charge of the Joe
Biden. That's what I was just going to say. That's what I was just going to say. But we're going to get Kamala Harris.
And
stand the fuck by, dude. And
I don't even know if she's in charge.
For
things got insidious in 2016. Remember, Bernie Sanders won the Democratic primary, and they said no, it's Hillary.
Bro, I've been saying this.
Like, well, that's crooked. And everybody just jumped on the Hillary bandwagon. It was like, hey, hang on a minute.
Well, they thought everybody did, and that's why you have President Trump right now. I've said this 1,000 times. I think Bernie Sanders could have beat Trump because Bernie Sanders had a movement. Everyone was feeling the burn. I wasn't feeling the burn, but it doesn't matter what I'm feeling. Yeah. The college kids across the country were feeling the burn. And fucking when they force fed those people, Hillary Clinton, they were not happy about it.
Yeah, whatever is going on at the higher levels of the DNC, they didn't want Bernie with his own ideas. That was the problem. Was Bernie was his own guy and he had his own ideas.
Well, and I've said that about Bernie a lot. Love him or hate him, and I'm not a fan of Bernie Sanders, but him as an individual human,
he's a genuine person.
Yes, this is what I believe.
I dislike his ideas, but I believe he is a genuine human.
This is what I believe. This is what I'm going to try and fight for. And at the end of the day, you have to respect that.
I do.
Instead of flip-flopping flavor of the week, who's fucking putting more money and padding your pockets, And so, I mean, it's the same thing we used to say about like the Taliban or Al Qaeda. It's like, okay, this guy literally wants to kill me, but he's putting himself in a position where he's willing to die for what he believes. So Roger that. Good on you.
That brings up a whole nother topic. But as we enter this weirdness, people say, you don't need, or we need gun control. And what do you care? You can't resist the government with a rifle.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm here to tell you, there's an organization in Afghanistan that started as the Mujahideen in 1979, and they still exist today as the Taliban. And they've defeated the two world superpowers. Yeah, the Russians and the Americans. With cavemen living in caves. And these guys wear sandals in the winter and wrap a blanket around their shoulders and have some old busted-ass AK-47s that they forged themselves in the mountains of Pakistan. And they've defeated two world superpowers. Yeah. And the point is, you can't defeat an idea. So if it comes to the point where freedom is being infringed upon in this country, you cannot defeat that idea. And that is why people like me, who I'm not that extreme, I'm a conservative liberal, but I am vehemently against gun control, because if it comes down to it, we will fight for the idea of freedom, and you can't beat it with tanks and airplanes and artillery. An idea is not beatable by a conventional army. And dude, it's not just two former Rangers sitting in Lake Stevens that feel this way. No, there's people all over everywhere. The country. Like, dude, right. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, I have my Aero Precision lower on the table. That I was actually just showing Toby some things about that right before we started recording. But I bought a stripped lower for a couple reasons. Initiative 1639 was just going to go into effect, where you had to attend a course to buy any type of semi-automatic rifle. So right before that went into effect here in Washington, I've always wanted an AR-10. So I was like, you know what, let's just buy this lower. Now I have it, and I'll start chipping away at it. Yep. The other side of it is, I think it's good to know how to put together a rifle. Like, I've never done it before. I can field strip an AR like a fucking demon. But when it comes to actually like
building your upper receiver, attaching your gas block, all that stuff. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
And if things are going to go bad, it's probably a good skill set to have,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
And so I've only built the lower receiver so far, which was a fun experience, minus springs and pins flying all over the room. Dude, there was like, I fucked up and I put a pin in, and then I started backing it out, but it was under tension, and the spring threw this little tiny like brass pin, and I heard it bounce around the kitchen like 17 times.
Nobody move.
Yeah. And my buddy Scott was over, and he goes, I'm fucking old and blind. I can't see shit, but I honed in on it like a bat, dude. I know where it's at. I was listening to it, and he found it. But the whole point of bringing this up is I've been getting online and like, okay, I need to buy a buffer tube. I need to buy this. I need to buy that. Bro, everything is out of stock.
Everything is sold out.
Everything is out of stock. I went to Aero Precision's site to try and buy the parts to build this gun. Everything.
I recently joined a range where you have to be a member, and you have to go take a little safety class just so they ensure that you're not stupid on the range and going to hurt somebody else. Everyone in my new member class, except for me and one other guy, had never touched a gun before.
Yeah.
And it was suburban, middle-aged people who said, you know what, we want to. It was like you know how like when you buy a car, you talk to your wife and you look at prices and stuff. They were talking about buying a gun the same way. They're like, we want to buy a gun, and we wanted to come here and learn how to use them safely. And so suburbia America is arming itself.
Yes, they've had enough.
Yeah.
And they're concerned of what the future looks like. The writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
And bro, like when you just went and used my restroom before we started recording, you stepped over my body armor there. It's just laying on the floor.
Yeah.
And
I upper deckered your toilet. Sorry, Jenny.
But I pulled the plates out last night because that's an old rig, and I wanted to see, like, try and run the serial number on them to see like what the ballistic rating was, because I don't even remember. I got that rig in like 2011, and there's nothing on the plates, right?
Oh.
So I was like, well, fuck, dude, they might be shit then.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember.
It should have like a Department of Justice rating or use.
There's nothing on the plate itself, dude.
Oh, interesting.
And so I was talking to my buddy Lappin again, who's like the gear guru, and he's like, Hesco makes great level 3+ plates, and sent me a couple links. Same thing. Plates are hard to find right now.
Oh, everything.
Even
everything.
plates, dude.
Dude, 22 ammo is sold out. What are you going to do with 22 ammo?
Yeah. Pop tires or something.
Get out of here.
But yeah, it's crazy that's where we're at. But yeah, speaking of Lappin, him and I and my jiu-jitsu coach were talking, and same thing like you were saying. There's such a people are craving tactical knowledge right now.
Yeah, and again, to take it back to state leadership, we're defunding police departments.
Exactly.
Like, hey, guess what, guys? Superman's not coming, and neither are the cops.
So let's try and prepare ourselves however we can.
Yeah.
And this dude is like, he's a fucking savage on the range. He's just one of those guys that can, at 25 meters, just tink, 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 tink,
Yep.
you know? And so he's like, well, why don't we put together a training course and start to offer both tactical shooting and jiu-jitsu together to kind of teach people both aspects of combat. Because here's the thing about combat. Combat it's really determined by what range you're at, what tool or what skill set you're going to need. So we figured we could do a 3-day course. And again, you're not going to make anyone a fucking Navy SEAL in 3 days, but it opens their eyes. It gives them kind of an understanding of what they need to work on.
Yep.
And then after that, you have to keep pursuing it, right?
Let me guess, sold out in 48 hours.
36 hours. Like, boom.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was like...
I floated the idea at work of, I will come to your house and give you 2 hours of tactical advisory, how to defend your house in the case of some guy high on PCP just wants to come in and wreck shop. And immediately people were like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, come on over.
No, I actually did my math wrong. It was 2.5 days.
Oh,
so still though, like, and we're getting emails now. It's like, hey, if there's any cancellations, let me know. I missed registration. And that's been coming in a lot. Yeah. And so we realized, like, we didn't really know what to expect. Like, yeah, we have backgrounds and we're capable of training people, and all three of us have like an extensive background in what portion of the training that we're going to teach. But I didn't know, like, would it sell out? Would it ever sell out? Would it take a month? Boom, just gone.
Yeah.
And it's just indicative of how hungry people are for knowledge right now, you know?
Because knowledge gives you what? Or training and knowledge give you confidence.
Exactly.
And independence.
And I've said it 100 times. That is the antidote to fear.
Yes.
Like if you're afraid of what's going on around you and things are concerning and just the culture and just the feeling of society overall right now is kind of scary if you're not a capable person.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get yourself some food, get yourself a rifle, get some training on it, now I can breathe a little bit. Okay, now I think I'm in the mix if something goes bad.
Yeah, they say there's an old quote: gifts make slaves." And the point is that if you rely on someone else, you are a slave to them. So if you're on whatever, if you're relying on the police for your security, if you're relying on welfare for your income, you are a slave. And it's ironic that the same people who really want the state to provide them with security don't seem to mind that the police are being defunded.
That's one of the most bizarre things of this whole this whole situation that's playing out. Like, you can't have it both ways. No. Get a little closer. I think it's dropping.
It is dropping.
Yeah, it's time to upgrade equipment. This is also just a byproduct of putting the studio together in my bedroom.
Yeah, it works.
Once we get the studio together, this will no longer be a problem. But yeah, dude, you can't defund the police and think that guns are bad. Like those two things do not. Those are mutually exclusive. You know. But it comes from a mindset of people that have never seen the worst of humanity.
No,
like you will have warlords in downtown Seattle.
It's coming.
Like that's what you will have.
It is coming to cities like Seattle and Portland, and it's probably already there in an underground sense where it's not real visible. But I mean, the drug traffic in Seattle is huge because of the opioid crisis, and so there has to be. I don't know anything about it. I've never been a police officer, but I guarantee there is a sort of overlord drug.
There's a network in place already,
bringing it all up from Mexico, and those guys are ruthless.
And like they think, I feel like the left wants to believe in the good of humanity, which is admirable. Like I would like to believe that too. But the only way to preserve that is to understand that there's an equal and opposite force on the other side.
Yes.
And they will fucking take
and
everything.
We might have to bottom out as a society to get back, because our generation, I mean, you and I are 40 years old and we've known nothing but good times, with the exception of our travels to shithole countries.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
And so we got to see it. And I think I said this on the last time I was on your podcast. I would almost pay if someone approached me and said, "Hey man, I'll take you up on this. I will buy you a round trip plane ticket to Islamabad, Pakistan, and a bus ticket out to Peshawar.
Yeah, you go live there.
Go survive for 5 days. Go survive for 5 days, and come. I promise you, it will change you."
And dude, and like, there's just as many places in the world that are fucked up. There's more than that are good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But people have just, I think the American culture has come to a realization where they believe like, can't happen here.
Yeah. That because it's not part of their reality. Their reality is suburbs and cable TV and grocery stores that are stocked. And I mean, Jesus Christ, you can pick up your phone now and call Grubhub and have your, you don't even have to go get McDonald's. McDonald's will bring it to you, or somebody will get it in their Prius and bring you your Big Mac. You don't even have to leave your Lazy Boy.
Hey, you don't even have to fucking leave your Lazy Boy to go look for a girl to have sex with, because you can just put on your VR goggles and have sex with Jenna Jameson.
Or put on like the Tinder thing and they'll just come to your house, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Part of me feels bad that we missed out on Tinder when we were 20. And then part of me thanks God. Because I can only imagine if I had access to something like that as a young...
Just imagine standing on the altar with your wife and being like, how many people were on her Tinder account?
Yeah, dude. No, I mean, we grew up in an era that was interesting because it was like 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So technology was just starting to boom. Like we had Ataris and Nintendos and Game Boys. Like all the stuff was starting to come together. but it wasn't to the point where I feel like it was just fucking detrimental.
No, so people were still pretty poor in the 80s and early 90s, and then we sort of hit like an apex in the early 2000s. And, like my grandpa, my mom's dad, used to hunt for meat for the family because they were poor enough that, him killing a deer and an elk and a couple geese, like that got them through the year.
Uh-huh. And it's funny that that's like a foreign concept now.
Oh, people have no, you know what I mean? Like,
Me included. I've never killed a big game animal.
My favorite meme on the entire internet is a guy dressed in Carhartts and a plaid shirt, and he says, "I'm so glad I don't have to hunt for my food. I have no fucking clue where gluten-free tacos live." that is so true.
Oh fuck, man. Yeah, dude, there's just so many things that you can't wrap your head around, you can't make sense of right now, that it just keeps making me go back to that same conclusion that I've drawn, that it's just not sustainable. It's not.
No, the problem in Seattle is going to continue to spread until it's in, we have friends who live in the city limits of Seattle, and I haven't heard anything negative from them, but at some point it's going to come to their front yard.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
Well, I want you to tell the story that you told me in my kitchen when you got here today. You're like, dude, I stopped by Home Depot and there's a fucking crowd of people trying to get a blow up Will Ferrell elf.
Oh no, I just wanted to see if there's still, a restaurant has to serve people outside, except now they can't do that. Restaurants can't serve people, period.
Yeah.
The little proprietor owned barbershop where I used to get my hair cut for $14, he's closed.
Yep.
But essential services are supposed to be open. So what's essential? Should Fred Meyer and Safeway, should they have essential staple food and diapers and baby formula out in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Or should you be able to wander into, because I get, plumbing fittings or a breaker that goes out in your house. That is essential. You need that. So I walked into Home Depot and perused the Christmas decorations. There's all the inflatable Santa Clauses and whatnot. And then I went, because my 5-year-old tore everything in his closet off the wall, I went over to the closet organization section and bought some new shelves and the little hangers and stuff. Like, is that essential? Is that life support? Fuck no.
No,
but
dude.
Because it's a big box store, it's all open. Should that aisle be closed off? I don't know, Jay Inslee. Are you listening?
Yeah,
maybe
dude.
you should think about what's essential.
You know what else you should fucking think about is you told all these restaurants that you need to implement plexiglass between booths. You need to build fucking... you need to have hand sanitizer everywhere. You need to build tents out in your parking lot.
They jumped through hoops to comply.
Yeah, and not only jump through hoops, that shit's expensive.
Yeah.
Like to any type of small business, like, and this is one of the things that the government, their head is so far up their ass. And I learned this when I was building my gym, because it became immediately apparent to me that, oh, this guy just applied for a building permit. He must have money. Let's ding him here. Let's ding him there. Ding him here. Ding him there. It's like, no, dummies. You guys in the government are used to just having endless fucking pockets of money.
Yeah.
Normal people, things are budgeted. And guess what? Most budgets on small businesses are pretty fucking tight.
It's really thin. And I think there's a whole subset of people, again, this progressive far left, that assume business owner means wealthy.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
That is so far from the truth.
When you have to add in a bunch of unforeseen things onto your operating budget, like fucking plexiglass between every fucking booth.
And slash your income because you can only have a 50% capacity.
Exactly. So now you're putting more money out and you're bringing less money in. And then after they do that, now you know what? You're shut down again. Yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, I just fucking spent all this money to comply with your bullshit.
Spent $10,000 on tents, plexiglass, and fucking bullshit, and now you're closing me.
Yeah, dude. And anyone that doesn't look at that and think, fuck, man, that there's an issue going on here. If you can't see that, again, there's not really a discussion to be had. We're just on different fucking planes. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, the leadership thing to do would be to listen to your small business owners and say, you know what, I'm starting to understand your problem here. And because
he clearly, it's not that he doesn't understand it. He doesn't give a shit. That's what this boils down to.
Yeah. Oh, no,
I mean, his brain, as much as I dislike the guy, his brain has to work well enough to be able to take an objective look and be like, hey, things, I see what's going on here, but because of whatever that agenda is,
I'm actually starting to believe he's not intelligent. I'm not joking, and I'm not trying to be cast
disparaging.
stones.
Yeah.
But when I watch him speak in his press conferences,
terrible
and whatnot,
speaker. Terrible.
I don't think he's actually intelligent. I think he's I think he got into position because he's connected, and he put the right letter next to his name, and he hit the right talking points.
It's bizarre, and it's the same thing with Biden. Like, how are the top political leaders in our country unable to just sit down and express ideas like we're doing right now? Like we've been talking for 59 minutes and 56 seconds, and we have articulated more stuff in a clear manner than we see.
More ideas than the governor of all 3 states of the West Coast have.
It's like they have the inability. It's like they're not even real human beings. Like get up there and stand in front of the camera and just talk to us.
Yeah.
Just talk, man. Like, I don't see how these people that are some of the worst public speakers that you've ever seen are working their way up. Like, part of being a leader should be like, you should inspire people. You should be able to get up on a podium and touch those people. And like Obama or hate Obama, he could get up there and talk to people. You know what I'm saying?
He was eloquent.
Yeah.
He was well spoken.
And so like, regardless of where he stands on issues, he had that ability. And that's why it wasn't surprising to me that people rallied behind him. Dude, the people that they're putting in front of us now lack that. And not only lack it, like it's non-existent.
Yeah.
Like the Culp Inslee debate, I was just like, I didn't watch it because I was like, I'm not watching any more of this shit. And then you told me, bro, you have to.
Yeah.
Like, you have to watch this. And so me and Jenny crawled in bed and put it on one night. And I'm like, this can't even be real.
Yeah. His answer, and what might have boiled down, was his answers were good, but he didn't say them eloquently. He's not a great public speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Where he had good ideas and good answers. Or I don't know. And I think so much of, especially where we live, people just vote on the letter. They do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good a person's ideas are or how compassionate they are, or you insert any adjective in there. They just vote D.
Yeah, I know, man.
No, there's no reason to think about it.
Have you seen the local businesses that are kind of in the spotlight for staying open in Washington State? There's 2 of them that I've been following.
Is it the gym down in Puyallup or?
Yeah, in Graham.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, that's her gym. So like I've been texting her back and forth about it. And they did receive a $9,600 fine for refusing.
I hope.
Yeah, that's why, because she asked me, I'm going to get her in touch with a constitutional attorney that's kind of defending people pro bono.
Good.
And, but yeah, dude, fucking now it was a lot of threats. Like my gym personally has received 1 email, 1 written letter, and 1 phone call. So we're at 3.
Yeah.
And, we're in kind of a unique situation because we have CrossFit and jiu-jitsu in one facility.
Right.
So some of it's going to the CrossFit coach, some of it's coming to me, because they just look at our facility like, who do we reach out to?
Who has money that we can find?
Yeah.
Who can we take money from?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's what it boils down to. The reason homeless people no law is being enforced on them and laws are being enforced on small businesses is it's who has money that we can take.
That's exactly right. It's just
because if homeless people had money and they could be fined,
they would be finding them.
They would be finding them.
100%, dude.
But the state only cares about law enforcement if you have a checking account.
Yeah. And so the last thing that they said, and they didn't, luckily the phone call for it went to the CrossFit coach. Like I didn't, because
you didn't threaten anybody's life.
Yeah. If they called me, they'd probably have a fucking SWAT team surrounding my building. But, they told him next step is a physical audit. Okay.
By who?
Yeah. But it's L&I. This isn't the IRS.
You're not allowed to come in without a warrant.
Well, yeah, exactly. And in order to have a fucking warrant,
there has to be a crime.
Exactly. Like, where are we going with this? Yeah. And so, yeah, man, it's a real weird place because now I feel like if you come in to do your physical audit, I'm going to kindly ask you to get the fuck out of my gym.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have a warrant.
Yeah.
And now I'm telling you, I'm not asking you to leave. This is private property and a private business. Get the fuck out of here. And if they give me pushback, knowing myself, like, where's this go?
Call the county sheriff.
Yeah, no, that's
so file charges.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking is I will detain them.
Yeah.
I will physically detain them. I will arrest them and handcuff them and then call the sheriffs and say, hey,
It's a great idea.
Have this person removed for physical or for criminal trespass, and we'll see what happens. But no, there's another place. There's a diner called Spiffy's.
Yes,
and I think is it Spanaway where it's at?
No, Napavine, south of Olympia.
Okay, and same thing. You got to shut down. And so I just saw a thing yesterday that they said L&I agents are supposed to go at this date, and there's dudes going down there with AR-15s.
Yeah. No, this is.
So I fuck, man. This is literally why I made my video in May.
Yeah.
Fucking 6-8 months ago.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see citizens being pitted against government agents over this fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And now you got people that are going to go shut a restaurant down and guys that are going to meet them with AR-15 supposedly. That just has the potential to go real fucking bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I hope, I mean, I have no idea who your listeners are, but if you're a county sheriff or a city police officer, it's time to start thinking about what you're going to do when you are asked to go violate someone's rights.
Yes, 100%. Dude.
And you need to think about it now, so you're not trying to make the decision in the car on your way there.
And you want to be on the side of right when you're looking back on all this.
Yes. Can you sleep at night if you do this?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you and I spoke on the phone. We talked about this. It feels like the lines were drawn, and the citizens of the country did not ask for this line to be drawn, but it's been drawn by the governors of the states, and there's nothing we can do about it. And so now it's time to decide, especially if you are a law enforcement officer, if you are a Department of Health agent,
if you work for L&I, even you, like if I worked for L&I.
Where do you stand? Do you stand for the state has this right? And I get it if you're just afraid and you're going, man, I like my job. I have a good retirement account. Like, it's a lot to give up. But in order for you to not give it up, you're going to go force someone else to give it up.
Yeah, exactly
and
right.
Are you able to brush your teeth and look in the mirror every morning from now until the day you die to know that when the chips were down, you chose your own safety and security and trampled on someone else's safety, income, retirement,
their entire livelihood.
Yeah. Can you live with yourself if you do that?
Yeah. And then the other side of it is you better start, and this isn't me threatening anybody. It's just me being tactically mindful and understanding the position that people are being put in.
Yeah.
If you think you're just some L&I guy that's going to go start stapling fines for they said $9,600 a day when you're open.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to fucking staple that on somebody's front door and they are not going to be furious with you.
Not everybody's level-headed like
you
us.
better start thinking about your own physical fucking safety.
Yeah.
This isn't a fucking game.
Because we defunded the police. So
yeah,
they're not coming with you.
So go ahead and go out there and continue to shit on people's ability to feed their family. It's going to come back to haunt you. It has to. There's no other way around it.
There's no more dangerous animal than one you back into a corner.
That's right, dude.
And so the state is backing people into a corner via their livelihood, and then they're going to ask some low-level L&I, health department, sheriff's deputy to go on, hey, there's a Wolverine in that cave. You go ahead and go in there.
Well, bro, and I've been saying that from the beginning too. It's like the government elite is using all these people as their pawns.
Yeah.
Like, you go do this, go do that, go do this. Like, no, motherfucker, you go do it.
And by the way, if you're a state employee, there's almost nothing that can get you fired.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you just not going to work that day.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if you're a health inspector, just don't go to work that day because your salary, and guess what? The state employees haven't missed a paycheck through all of this.
No, of course. They're essential.
Same if you're a sheriff. Just don't go to work that day.
You followed the Max Public House in New York, that bar. Oh, so a bar opened up against the governor's orders, and they sent in undercover agents, first of all, to go in and order drinks and confirm. They confirmed they're open.
Yeah.
All right, we got them. Send in the team. Yeah. Like, if you were any of those cops that partook in that operation, I hope you get hit by a fucking bus tomorrow. Yeah. And I'm not kidding, dude. Yeah. You're not one of my people. Right. You are not one of my people. You're part of the problem.
Yep.
You're pandering to a fucking corrupt government.
You've chosen your side.
You've chosen your side. And that's what I've said over and over. Hey, I'm sorry that you're a 32-year-old sheriff with a 3-year-old daughter at home and you got a mortgage. But if you chose the side of tyranny, I hope you get hit by a bus. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Then that's where we have to be on this stuff. Yeah. So they went in there. All right, he's open. All right, send the team in. And they went in there, and this is what they did. Because, like we've said 100 times, there are no laws on the books right now. So what do? You have to shut down per governor's orders. He goes, I'm not shutting down. We're telling you to leave. Well, I'm not leaving. All right, we're arresting you for criminal trespass because you were given a lawful order to leave and you're still here. He goes, it's my fucking bar.
Yeah.
So they arrested him on criminal trespass charges at his own facility.
Did he own it or lease it?
I don't know if I know he owned the business. I don't know if he leased the physical property or not, but I'll let you know. For criminal trespass, the property owner or the business owner is the one that has to say, I don't want this person here anymore.
Yeah.
So I can't, as a cop, go into, and again, I was a Washington State cop, so state laws vary, right? So in New York, it might be slightly different.
Right.
But how it is here, the facility or the property owner has to be the one to say, hey, I don't want this guy here. Can you guys get rid of him? And then now that I have that, and they have to be willing to provide a statement, right? Now I have legal authority to get this person off your property.
Right. So the governor can't say, go file trespass charges.
Yeah. What the fuck is that, dude? And so Ian Smith, that same guy that we referenced earlier, the gym owner in New Jersey, he went back.
Oh, to the bar.
The next day and ran it. And poured drinks and served people. And he put out, because he has like 150,000 followers on Instagram. Yeah. His courage is becoming contagious. Good. And a lot of people are following him. So he said, listen, I'm going to Mac's Public House tomorrow. I'm going to be serving drinks. We're open for business. Come support us. Fucking, I don't know how many people showed up.
Packed out in the street.
Thousands. And guess what? Now they couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Because government power is implied.
Yes, exactly.
It's only there if you allow it to be there. So
what are you going to do now? You got fucking 5,000 people packed in the streets.
Send a health inspector down to close it down.
Dude, I love shit like that. Yeah. And it's funny because part of me wants, like, I haven't been getting much pushback on my gym. I'm being vocal about it because I think it's important.
It's important
to show people courage.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is what courage looks like. I will not be fucking beat down by a tyrannical government.
Absolutely.
So I've been vocal about it, but I haven't been getting much pushback. And that's a good thing, right? I shouldn't be fucking complaining that I'm not getting pushback. But the other side of it is, it's inspiring to see the guys that are, like Ian Smith. He's been arrested. He's had his doors physically barricaded. Like, they're doing everything in their power. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm right here, motherfuckers. Yep. And I will never stop.
Again, you don't need a business license to run a business.
Well,
if you have a pole barn with a squat rack in it, I will pay you cash to come lift weights in your pole barn.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? And you don't need to, Jay Inslee doesn't need to be involved.
Well, and here's the other thing. Like, do you know how you get a business license in the state of Washington? It's not very difficult.
Yeah, it takes 15 minutes online. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's like a $200 processing fee. And now this fucking business exists. Yeah. So, like, me and Jenny are saying, if they close one, guess what?
Let's
file another one. Yeah. And now I can be electric-ish jiu-jitsu. You know, like, fucking crazy times we're in, dude.
Yeah.
What else we got here? I know I took some notes down because there's so much stuff going on. Did we already mention that there's that new documentary about Seattle? I know we talked about all the homelessness and all the...
There's been a good series on Como 4, I believe, called Seattle is Dying. So if people are listening outside the state who aren't aware, you can find that. I'm pretty sure if you just searched Como 4, KOMO4, Seattle is Dying. And apparently they've made a new episode.
Yeah, so this episode is called The Fight for the Soul of Seattle. And somebody emailed it to me this morning, and it's an hour and a half, and I watched 3 minutes of it. And I'll finish. I'm probably that's what we'll watch tonight. It's fucking good, man.
Good.
It's hitting on all of the things. The first 3 minutes is like, oh, okay. Yeah, the media has had it. When the media has had it, like...
The media has become a farce as well. Like, journalism used to be this sort of higher calling when we were kids, where you could...
Yeah.
They were, even though they had their own views, they had to be impartial with what they reported. And remember, you know, your parents would come home from work, they'd turn on the TV, and there would be, Peter Jennings or whoever, and he would just he would basically read facts for half an hour, and he wouldn't try to imply any bias or anything into it. And now it doesn't matter what side you're on and what you're watching, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, it's all just bullshit, and it's all propaganda. And so we're sort of living in this weird time that's like, I keep calling it the death of truth, because Where do you go when you want to know what to believe? Where do you go?
Well,
because
bro,
I don't trust any of it.
I was talking to one of my buddies, Mark, who is a Democrat, yesterday, and he asked me something about because Lauren Culp is claiming election fraud, right?
Right.
And he asked me something in regards to that, and I just had to tell him, bro, I don't know.
Yeah, how could anybody know?
Because every time I try and read anything or follow any news story, it's like I can find just as many articles that are written in a factual manner supporting that election fraud took place, and then you can find just as many saying that it's these people have tinfoil hats, and you inevitably are going to start to go towards the direction of whatever you're feeding yourself, you know?
Yep.
And so, dude, with all of these different news media outlets and websites and blogs and Facebook and Instagram, you're getting so much information and you literally don't know what is truth and what is absolute bullshit.
And
I don't know.
Cooked anyway. I mean, the reality is 100% of it is probably cooked.
So what do you do with that, dude?
I don't know.
You know,
you run your small business and tell everybody else to fuck off.
Yeah, you have to, you know? Fuck, man. It's just, you find yourself in a position where you want answers, and I don't even know if there's a means to get them anymore. No, you know,
unless you physically go to the location where something is happening and see it for yourself, I wouldn't trust anything.
And like, you know, being in the military and in law enforcement, a lot of my buddies are lean conservative. And I've been getting so much stuff about like Texas's lawsuit and the Dominion software and all this stuff. And when you look at what's presented, it's like, oh, okay, this is fucked up, right?
Yeah.
But then the other side has their way of refuting and rebutting that. And I don't even know if there is a truth, dude. No, it's just a bunch of convoluted bullshit, you know?
Yep.
But fucking however it played out, I think we're getting Biden.
Yeah.
No, you know, I think that's, I mean, what we're supposed to find out on the 14th, right? Isn't that when Electoral College casts their vote?
Again, at this point, I don't know.
But I've heard
at some point somebody's going to be in the White House, and I guess we'll know then.
I guess, I mean, and I'm fucking probably butchering this, so I apologize. But General Michael Flynn was saying like, there's some executive authority that the president can invoke to demand a revote.
Who knows? And
bro, if anything like that happens,
I'm sure people will
put your body armor on.
Yeah, yeah.
And bro, I'm not even saying I don't want that. Like, if there's evidence saying that there was fraud and that nefarious shit was happening, then yeah, we absolutely deserve that.
Yeah.
But here's the fucked up thing about it is, regardless of what's correct, people are going to want whatever is beneficial to their party.
Absolutely.
So I don't think that there's going to be anybody on the left that's like,
I mean,
Biden won, but even though it was fraudulent, I don't care.
Yeah, think about right now. All we've heard since 2016 is election meddling, and now like, oh no, it's all good.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
You're right, dude. I mean, they fucking impeached him with all the Russian collusion shit. Like,
yeah, you can't be intellectually honest with yourself and spend 4 years shouting election meddling and then go, oh no, this one's good.
Our process is actually flawless.
Yeah.
And it's all good, dude.
It's ridiculous. But it's crazy how many people are. I mean, they're 100% committed to that.
And I mean, I can't sit here and not state, like, I would also be like, let's say Trump won and the left was calling for a revote. I would be like, that's fucking bullshit. Like, I'm sure I would feel that too. So, yeah. I mean, I guess I get it. And I guess I just encourage people, try and take your emotions out of it and just do what's right. Yeah. If there's evidence, there's evidence. If there's not, there's not.
Yeah. The president of the United States does not affect your life that much.
But the thing that
Congress does, the Supreme Court does, your local and state leadership does. The president of the United States does not affect you that much.
The thing that makes me question whether there's validity to everything that's happening is like, dude, Trump is being fucking censored. Mm-hmm. Anything he tweets, anything he puts on Instagram, like I saw a picture he posted yesterday and it wasn't even political. It was just like, I don't remember what it was, but he was just standing there. Like, I think he was like getting off an aircraft or something.
Yeah.
And then below it, it says, election outcome shows that Joe Biden has won the 2020 election.
It's just a picture of him.
It's just a picture of him.
Air
Yeah.
Force One.
And it's like, this isn't, he's not,
regardless, he's still the president today. Until
dude.
January, whatever.
And so like, when you take a step back and you're like, okay, big tech is doing everything that they can to make sure everybody knows Donald Trump lost. Everything they can do to make sure that Donald Trump lost. It makes you wonder, like, why? Why are you going out of your way to put these little banners and censor things? That in itself makes you raise an eyebrow and be like, what's really going on here?
Perception is reality. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
It could have been a landslide victory for Trump if every news station reports Biden and every citizen believes Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's this death of truth thing that, like, what do you trust now? And
dude, Fox News called Arizona. Did you see that?
I paid no attention to it because I knew it was just going to be nonstop partisan bullshit.
Yeah, I was sad, dude. Like, I would, regardless of who won, like, dude, if Biden won by a legitimate landslide that I felt was like honest, I'd be like, I can't fucking believe this, but whatever, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, he's our president now. What am I going to fucking do about it? Cry for the next 4 years? I guess that's an option. That's
well, actually,
that's what happened last time, right? Yeah. But like, dude, election night 2016, when Trump won, that night, there was your closure. Regardless of what side you're on, hey,
move on.
And I think America was starving for that, regardless of what side. Like, there's been so much political divide and so much fucking drama in our country over the coronavirus and all the shit that's been fallout from that. If election night, you're just, okay, this is where we're going now.
Yeah, we're done now.
Like, you know, but no, bro, literally the worst outcome possible.
Yeah.
You know? Yep. To the point where I mean, fuck, dude, nobody knows what's going to happen.
No idea. They're still saying Trump is going to continue to fight it in court. There's, goddamn. Yeah, exactly. Who the hell knows?
But you know what else this is probably going to do? It's just set a precedent.
Yeah.
Every election going forward is going to be a bunch of contested shit. Yep. Maybe it should be if they're doing bullshit, but at the same time, like, what a fucking nightmare, dude.
Yeah. When they rolled out, when they confirmed that Supreme Court Judge Kavanaugh, and they rolled out the lady with the sexual assault charges, 30 years or whatever after the fact, I said, man, they will never have another politician who doesn't have some sort of sexual assault allegations against him. And sure enough, Joe Biden's been accused of molesting children. And that there will never again be an election or a judge confirmed that doesn't have some sort. I guess Amy Coney Barrett sort of slid under the radar because if you're a leftist, it's like, oh crap, do we attack the female?
Yeah, exactly.
But
did you see?
It set the precedent. Every election will be contested. It's going to be slander and bullshit, and it's just kind of. Well, maybe we do need another revolution just to reset everything.
Straight up, dude. Yeah. Did you see the picture? When she was being, like interviewed by the panel or whatever it was, when they said, "What's on your book? What are you looking at there? What do your notes say?"
Yeah.
And she held it up and it was blank. Yeah. You see the Ranger meme going around? She held it up. It was a range card.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. No, I didn't see it. That's awesome. Yeah.
That's so fucking awesome, dude. Both like just stupid Ranger humor, but then also like, oh no, I'm like digging in and building sectors of fire for you motherfuckers. Yep.
Yep.
No, man, like we keep circling back to the revolution, and to think that it is not a possibility, you're kidding yourself.
Yeah, look at the earth. We live on the earth. Just again, I challenge anybody who thinks they've been international. If you've been to Western Europe and Mexico on vacation, you haven't been international.
Yeah,
go somewhere where things are in upheaval. And get your eyes opened. Fuck,
dude. Like, as bad as it would also be so exciting. It'd be such a fun time to live through. Like, I've been telling some of my friends, like,
it's that warrior spirit.
Listen, if we might be hard up for food, we're going to have to be getting water out of the Pilchuck River and boiling it. Like, there's going to be a lot of aspects of like a post-apocalyptic lifestyle that are physically and emotionally demanding, but spiritually, you're going to be closer with the people to your left and right than you could ever imagine.
Yep.
You're going to feel more connected to people than you could ever imagine.
Yep.
And that in itself, that's exciting, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It also is going to bring about, or I shouldn't say it is, if something like that were to happen, people are going to have to decide, like, how bad do I want this?
Yeah.
Do I really want things to be this way, or do I really want things? And right now, life is easy if you're in America. Like,
Yeah, a lot of people are floating in the middle, just kind of like, whatever.
Before COVID, if you walk into Starbucks, homeless people are charging their iPhones.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
They're not that poor. Like, you need to redefine what poor means if you think that that's poor. So we've lived through this generation of ease, and if something like this happens, you're gonna have to decide, like, what matters to you for real. Not just like, what am I going to watch on Netflix tonight? Yeah.
And dude, I mean, if it were to take place, America will never be the same. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, this will be a turning point in history that's talked about for thousands of years.
Yeah.
But the other thing, it's not like there's just going to be a conflict and then it's over and we're going to restructure our government and everything's good to go. I think it'd be like years of fallout and
yeah, I can't envision a situation where there's battle lines like the American Civil War and the.
No, of course not.
It would be some sort of it'll be, honestly, probably sheriffs trying to close down businesses and politicians, governors trying to kind of rule with a heavy fist.
Yeah, but that could turn into like just chaotic guerrilla warfare.
Yes. That's
like decentralized command. Was it you that I was talking about this with?
Brings me right back to, you can't defeat an idea.
Yeah, you know?
The reason the Taliban has defeated 2 world superpowers is because they're not centralized, and they're not a physical entity. There's no command center.
Yeah.
They're just in the mountains.
Without a command center, like if you and I were Rangers and we wanted to go raid a village, well, that'd have to get JSOC approval. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, it's not like I get to, I mean, if I had specific intel, if E5 Greg Anderson said, hey, on this patrol, I saw this dude that looked like Heckmaner and blah, 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 then they'd run it up and then they'd fucking cross-reference and they do all these things.
Yep.
And then they would decide if that mission's going to be a green light or not. And so there's like all of these checks and balances and procedures before you can get anything done. Whereas if we were on the other side of it, hey, we're both Al Qaeda. Hey, Foulke, let's go attack that American outpost tonight. Fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's get 30 guys and let's do it.
Let's get a 6-pack of beer while we're at it. Fucking
and
then
boom, you can do it.
Yep.
You don't have to ask permission. You don't have to clear anything.
Yep.
But because it's so organic and decentralized, how can you fucking really like monitor or track that or combat that? You know what I'm saying?
A Western military can't, and that brings me back to people who say, "Well, you can't resist planes and tanks with a rifle." And I say, "Yes, you can."
Well, it was Joe Biden. Joe Biden himself is the one that said that.
Yeah, and think about how many people are required to keep that tank in the field. It's not just the 3 guys in the tank. It probably takes 3 mechanics, and then it takes 2 supply trucks to bring it diesel and ammunition. And it's not sustainable. You can't just roll that into Washington State and hang out there for 10 years. You get what we have in Afghanistan. You're just stuck in this quagmire where you have billions or trillions of dollars spent just trying to be there.
Yeah.
And you're not making any progress.
And dude, I don't know if I've talked to you about this or not, but when I was living in Southern California, there was a manhunt for a guy named Christopher Dorner. Do you remember that guy? Do you remember that name?
No.
So I believe he was LAPD, and he got fired and then basically like went postal, right? Okay. Started driving around, started shooting people.
Oh, shit.
And it was like a 3-day manhunt. Oh. And like my marshal service, some of my teammates were part of that operation, and he got caught out in Big Bear in a cabin, and they burned it to the ground. He died inside that cabin, right? Okay. Bro, the whole state of California was in a state of panic.
For one guy.
For one guy with a rifle driving around. Yep. One guy who was poorly trained, who was just fed up and went nuts, right? Yeah. Bro, fuck, man. Yeah. Do you guys realize they had thousands of police officers fucking looking for this guy? Dude, some cops shot up a car.
Oh, Jesus, that wasn't his?
Because it was a match, but it wasn't his car. It was just a make, model, and color, right? You don't get to use deadly force because the car happened to match. But because everybody's so freaked out, good shoot. Yeah. No, you know what I'm saying?
But one individual locked down the entire state's law enforcement for 3 days.
When you get fucking 300 dudes that have coordinated something, it's going to be almost impossible.
And people think we're, again, here we are sounding like right-wing wackos, but there's a lot of people in this country who are like you and I, who aren't really looking for trouble, but think trouble is coming.
Yeah, dude.
And are quiet. They're not putting it on Facebook. They're not calling their friends and texting about it. They're just real quietly talking to their buddies from their old units, and they're getting ready, and they're talking about, what do we do if something like this actually happens? We don't want this to happen.
Exactly.
But if something like this happens, because we live in the world, and in the world, things can get violent. Can't think of how I want to put this.
Well, I'll just say, like, I'm not advocating this for anyone that's like, Greg Anderson's saying fucking going to spark a revolution. I'm not advocating it because I know how bad that it's going to get
civil
if it
disobedience.
happens.
Civil disobedience is the way to go.
But I'm simply saying that just from our training experience, it's clear as day that if enough people did decide that they've had enough, I'm just saying it's going to be a problem.
It will be a big problem because you and I could roll up a Lake Stevens police department. You know what I mean? Like that's not me boasting or bragging.
Yeah, dude.
The reality is that if for some reason, like, we were pushed over the edge.
Yeah. And there's a lot of dudes out there. Yeah. I mean, you got 20 years of combat veterans coming home that have had it, dude.
Yeah.
And so, but good on them for showing restraint, because no one's out doing crazy shit yet.
Yeah.
Which is actually,
it's admirable.
I'm kind of shocked by it.
But everybody's, again, I keep my nose to the wind, and everybody's getting ready.
You know, there's a percentage of people that are concerned if we have civil unrest or violence on our streets, that China and other nations will take that as an opportunity. And it's like, maybe. And then we'll be screaming Wolverines out in the mountains.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know what to believe. If it's on the internet, who knows?
So I also got intel from a friend who has friends. This is out of one of the SEAL teams. I'm not going to say which one or where it came from. I guess it sounds like word on the street in the military community, especially Special Operations Command, is after Biden's inaugurated, they want to start running a bunch of missions again.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking insane,
it's
dude?
Nuts, dude. So again, I go back to the Clinton.
They're starting to get jocked up, dude.
Hillary Clinton was a neocon, and she wanted to get more involvement in foreign wars. And when this Biden administration comes in, whoever the handlers are at the DNC, mark my word, here I am, Nostradamus, now.
Yeah, this will happen.
In the next 4 years, we're going to have another troop surge somewhere in the world to get involved in somebody's conflict.
And isn't it crazy? Because on its surface, like, conservatives are more of like a military mindset, and the left is not. But I think conservatives are more willing to go to war, but not necessarily.
It has to have a reason and an outcome.
Exactly, dude.
And for some reason, again, I call Hillary Clinton a neocon because her sort of actions fall in line with like Donald Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted more, and Obama too. Does everybody know that Obama is the first American president to assassinate a U.S. citizen without a trial? Two of them in Yemen.
And I believe...
And people believe he's their messiah.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe he bombed either 12 or 14 different countries. Yeah. Throughout his presidency.
Yeah. So again, you can hate Donald Trump, but he's got us out of Iraq. He just this last week signed an order to bring troops home from North Africa and to get us uninvolved in North Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at the smallest troop level in Afghanistan since 2005 or something.
Well, I'm talking to some of the guys that were still active duty, like during the ISIS surge, because ISIS, I mean, when Obama was president, ISIS was a fucking huge problem.
Yeah.
And Tim Kennedy spoke about this publicly. He said as soon as Donald Trump was in, he's like, listen, I'm going to send all you guys over. We're going to get rid of ISIS. ISIS is done.
He hired Jim Mattis as Secretary of Defense and fucking destroyed them in 4 months.
And now we're out of Syria and we're done with it.
Yeah.
You know, like I just don't understand how people can't kind of detach from like just their political ideologies and see like,
look at the actions taken. This is all public record.
Yeah. Some really good things happen as far as like from a military person's perspective.
And like, that's probably why our economy is going wildfires. We're not spending a ton of money just dropping, what's a smart bomb cost? Like $17 million?
Yeah, I don't even know, man.
Like, hey, there's a cave opening over there. Let's drop $35 million worth of munitions in it. Is there anybody in there? Don't know. Yeah. Just fucking call that shit in.
And when you're 25, that's fun as fuck, dude. But at the same time, now that I'm just slightly more responsible, you can look back on what we did at 25. And again, dude, I loved all that stuff. But just because it was fun doesn't mean it was right. Yeah. Like, did I have any business running around the streets of Ramadi shooting at dudes? Like, what were we doing? What were we even doing there?
What was the objective?
What was the objective, dude?
Nobody knows. To this day, nobody knows.
It
was just fun because
other than just having a good fucking time. Yeah. Like I always tell people, dude, combat is no different than playing airsoft, except if you get shot, you actually die. You know what I mean?
Bigger consequences.
But the higher stakes is what makes it more fun. And so, dude, I've also talked about that. You shouldn't be ashamed about the fact that you're enjoying combat. I mean, you fucking trained hard for it, and now it's here.
You enjoy competition, you enjoy combat. It's the ultimate competition, and it's why it drives Type A personalities to the SEAL teams and the Ranger Regiment and the all the other SOF units.
And when you're sitting in a hide site inside of a fucking like top floor of a building, looking for fucking bad guys to engage, it's like playing Call of Duty, except it's fucking real. Yeah. And I'm very open about my experience. I didn't have a lot of combat. Like, there's guys, I mean, you fucking listen to like Mike Glover, Andy Stump stories. Yeah. Those dudes are out.
As like the guys who fought in Syria the last
years. Dude. And so, like, I mean, I fucking wish I got to do some of that stuff. But a lot of what you get to do and what you don't get to do while you're deployed, it's a crapshoot. It's luck of the draw. And I didn't get a lot, but I got enough to get a feel for it and like really get that experience. And dude, there's nothing better. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I vividly remember one of the nights we blew out of the Barrycout safe house, and my squad went down to the river because we thought that there was remember they had the SIGINT guys out there, and we would get,
bro,
we get all these false
I put
alarms.
A claymore in that night.
Did you? Okay.
Like, because we were expecting
them to come across the river.
Yes, and they were why am I drawing a blank on Chechens? Right? Didn't they believe they had Chechnyan?
Yeah, we got all
connections,
kinds of like crazy intel that never panned out.
And so, dude, I set a claymore in that night. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking blow dudes up. This is like you practice this in basic training on like day one. You know?
I remember being huddled there on the side of the mountain, like freezing my ass off because we blew out. So all I'm wearing is a t-shirt, body armor, pants, and boots, and it's February in Afghanistan. And there was a brief moment where I was like, I wonder what all my high school buddies are doing right now. It's Saturday night. They're probably going to a party. There's probably a bunch of girls there. And then I was like, I'm fucking looking through night vision at a PEC 2 infrared laser, scanning the other side of this river for dudes to smoke.
Yeah,
there is no better place in the world right now than right here, right now.
Yeah. So I remember that night you guys were we were more towards the city. Okay. Were you guys down by that bridge?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
And then our squad went up by the city and set in an ambush along the road and fucking claymores and machine guns and stuff. Yep. It was like a Ranger school ambush. Yep. And I was like, dude, this is really going to happen. This is so fucking awesome. Yep. And if you've never done that or desired to do that, you can't even fucking wrap your head around it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But regardless of how fun it was and how much we wanted to do that stuff, that doesn't mean that we get to fucking that I support sending our fucking young troops into these endless wars with no objective. You know, I've said it 1,000 times. If we want to send our fucking young men, our fighting age men and women into combat, we better have a plan. Well, first, we better have a good fucking reason. An objective. Then we better have a plan, and we better have an objective and a timeline. Yep. We're going to do this, and we're going to get out. Yep. Like, how the fuck did we get sucked into fucking 15 years of Iraq? What you know what I'm saying? We killed Saddam Hussein.
There was no plan, no timeline, and no exit strategy.
Yep.
And then it became it became the R versus D again. It was a way for right and left to fight over who made what policy and who did what troop surge and who opposed this and who approved that. And it just became a big political bullshit tool. And mark my words, man, I'm going to say it one more time, Nostradamus, in the first 4 years of the Biden administration, we will surge troops somewhere in the world to get embroiled in another low-level conflict that will just eat up resources and lives.
It's pathetic, dude.
Yep.
And I mean, when we invaded Iraq, I was 22 years old, right? So you and I were sitting on a fucking mountaintop in Afghanistan when the rest of the U.S. military invaded Iraq.
Yep.
22 years old, right? Like, so I didn't have the experience to have like the foresight to think like about the power vacuum and what would happen or not. But you're telling me that we didn't have fucking people, high level positions of the fucking government that couldn't foresee what the fuck was going to happen in an area of the world that is very tribally controlled. You have three factions of people that are opposed to each other.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to go fucking bad.
After my first deployment to Iraq in 2004, I was like, oh, this will never work. It's never going to work out. Saddam was he was evil, but he kept everybody sort of in line.
Yeah.
And this is just going to turn into a bloody civil war. And what do you know?
And bro, the other side of it is like, you can't have a group of people that are oppressed, that are controlled by a dictator, and then just say, hey guys, you're free now.
Yeah.
Because what do they know?
Nothing.
They know killing. They know violence. That was the culture over there, right?
Yep.
So
and they didn't ask for it either.
No, exactly. And they didn't want it, because if they wanted it, they would have banded together with their cousins and their uncles and their brothers and their fucking community, and they would have overthrown Saddam and say, we're done with your shit. They didn't want it.
Yeah.
If they wanted it bad enough, they would have fought for it. Yep. And we didn't see that, right?
Right.
And so you take a group of people that not only doesn't want it and didn't earn it and didn't fight for it, and you just hand them it. Hey, yesterday you were under the control of a dictator.
I wouldn't even say that we handed them freedom. We handed them a power vacuum and said,
that's a better way to put it.
Ready, set, go.
Well, and that's exactly what I was going to say, because an American citizen interprets freedom, and I'm going to use the word freedom because that's what we called it, Operation Iraqi Freedom. An American citizen interprets freedom as the ability to go open a business, to run your family in a manner that you think is congruent with your morals and your values, not being dictated by the government, right? That's what, whereas that culture, when they became free, in quotation marks, I hate my neighbor, I'm going to go kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, how many times did you hear about that in Iraq?
Oh, dude, you'd find the bodies in the streets every morning.
Like fucking just, hey, this guy fucking did this to me, and he took a cow.
His grandpa did this to my grandpa 70 years ago, and our families have had a grudge ever since.
And we went into his house in the middle of the night and we gunned them all down.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. That happened over and over and over.
Again, all these people here living in the United States who have no concept of how ugly humanity can be.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, dude.
And so if that is how those people are perceiving what we are trying to give them as freedom, it's never going to work. And that's why I did. It just created a power vacuum, you know?
And circle back again to another earlier point. What rose? Warlords.
Yeah. Yeah. The nastiest.
Yeah.
The nastiest warlords ever.
Yep.
I mean, I had buddies that, who was I just talking to about this? This is going to bother me. But he said I think he was part of the unit. Fuck this. I'll think about it when we're off air.
Okay.
But he said part of like their morning patrols is they would see blood-soaked streets.
Yeah.
Because every morning they would rally, the town would get everybody together, and the guys that they were opposed to, there would be public beheadings on the same street corner every morning. And he goes, that was just part of life. Wake up. Hey, these are the guys we're executing today.
Yep.
And he said we would drive by or patrol by that place regularly, and every morning, fresh blood all over the corner from the morning's beheadings. Right. This is fucking in 2006 or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is modern times, and you're having public beheadings every morning.
Yep.
people can't wrap their fucking head around that stuff.
No,
I barely can. And we lived
we
over
were
there.
Yeah. It still is hard to be like, because we've been home. I've been home for 11 years or 10 years. And it's like, oh yeah, that actually happened.
In like in Raqqa, Syria, they had like downtown city centers with heads on pikes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people crucified.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's biblical times shit, dude.
They were throwing if you're homosexual, you get thrown off a building. That's the Sharia law punishment.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
Man.
And we're gonna see more of it, dude.
Yep.
Nostradamus called it,
right.
And I promise you that we're gonna fucking see that shit, dude.
Yeah. Oh, it's 100% coming.
All right. What, you got anything else, man? We just went an hour and 45.
Nope. Open your businesses and subscribe to Greg's podcast.
Yep. And that's, I think we can't leave on a better note than that. So don't be controlled by fear, be courageous, and don't listen to what everybody else is telling you to do. This is kind of where I'm finding myself right now. Everybody has their opinions and everybody wants to argue about what's right, what's safe, what's wrong. But at the end of the day, you can only operate based on your morality and your ethics and your beliefs. And if you think that you need to be out opening your businesses, exercising, having your kids go to school, it's time for you to start to fight for that stuff. We can't wait on anybody else to fucking try and bring this all together for us.
The longer you wait, the harder it'll be.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. That's a wrap.